tax when it comes to the low value threshold, and they threatened to pull Amazon, and they did, and they were back 3 months later. So, look, I think people from these companies understand that when I say something, I mean it, and that I intend to follow through with it.
This is not an empty threat. This is, if this legislation goes through in its current form, then Australian users won't be able to read or post news within Facebook or Instagram. I could guarantee you that at the moment they are working out technically how to get news off Facebook in Australia.
Hal Crawford's been head of a major New Zealand news organisation, as well as one of Australia's top news sites, 9MSN.
Yeah, look, news is incredibly important. I think news is a cornerstone of democracy. I'm a huge believer in it. But I don't think introducing bad laws and unfair laws is the way to counteract the demise of news. It absolutely is not the fault of Facebook and Google. What's responsible is the internet, the modern world. That is what has destroyed the business models of commercial media.
Facebook's warned news content is highly substitutable with other content for our users, and that news does not drive significant long-term commercial value for our business.
Most of Facebook's content is user-generated content. The point about news content is that that content is expensive, it costs money to produce, it's produced by organisations that have editorial processes, that have quality control processes.
But Facebook isn't bound to run it.
I will leave it to Facebook to answer questions about what they may or may not do. We want to have a sustainable and diverse media sector in Australia. That's an important element in a democracy.
If we want to raise a tax directly on Facebook and Google, and we want to go through that argument and justify that, I'd be very, potentially supportive of that, and then redistribute that money to support news in some way, in a fair way.
Question is whether these giant global businesses are appropriately paying for